Email lists, branding, connections, sales, right? How many of you are interested in any of that or all of that? Raise your hands, yeah? All right, great. So I'm going to try and show you how you can do that by creating your own summit. And I'm going to show you all the pieces here. So we start with the setup. This is the pre-work that you do before the actual summit begins. There's a lot of legwork that goes into making sure you've got the right speakers and you have the format and all of that stuff. So first, you need to have, you need to know what kind of summit you're creating, right? You can't just say, hey, we've got a summit going on, come speak. Like, what is the summit about? Who's it for? What should I talk about? All of that stuff, that needs to come first. So usually I go with this formula, domain for audience. In our case, it was We Online, the online business summit for women entrepreneurs. So online business being the domain, women entrepreneurs being the niche audience, right? Social confidence summit, the social skills summit for men. So social skills is the domain and the audience is for men. You could do, let's say the fitness guy, right? Because it's just an easy example for me. Fitness, you won't just go fitness summit, you'd go fitness for busy professionals, let's say, as one category, right? And you could do another summit, fitness for pro athletes, which is a totally different kind of content and summit, right? Then what you want to do is you want to identify topics that should be spoken about in this summit, all right? So you've got your topic, your summit name, and you know what the summit is about and who it's for. Now you want to go, all right, so what do you want to teach all these people who are coming to a summit? What are they going to learn? They're going to learn how to write copy, branding, expanding their audience, social media, all of that stuff. So we listed all of that stuff down, and these are basically what we're going to approach our speakers with and say, hey, can you talk about one of these topics for our summit? Yeah? Then we needed to define the format of the summit, like how many days is it going to be? Is it 5-day long summit, 3-day long summit, 1 day? How many speakers? 30, 10, 20, 50, right? Is it going to be live or recorded? Each speaker video, is it going to be a live interview, or are we going to record it first and then put it up online at a certain time and tell people to go watch it at that time? Is it going to be a solo talk? Is it going to be a panel talk, so like 5 speakers together in a Google Hangout? Or is it going to be a mix, so one person does a solo talk and then someone else does, you do a panel with someone else? And is it going to be a presentation style or interview style? So are the speakers going to have their own slides and are they going to talk through that, or are we going to interview them and have a question and answer kind of format? All right? And finally, potential dates for our summit. So typically you want to, if you're building this out right now, starting today, you want to build it out for at least 3 months in advance, because there's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of, trying to get speakers and then promoting the summit. So a lot of work that goes into it before you can actually have the summit. So you want to have it at least 3 months out, and then just get some potential dates and then, start reaching out to speakers. And that's what you do, right? Next is identifying potential speakers, okay? So what we did was we divided potential speakers into tiers. We had the top mega influencers, the ones that we really wanted, like the big celebrities in our industry, right? And these are like the people who have over 100,000 followers. And they're usually the hardest to get because they won't even give you the time of the day if they don't know you, right? So they're really the hardest to get. So we also created tier 2, which are sort of not as great, but they're pretty good. So we also reach out to them because we want to fill up some slots as well. And finally, there's tier 3, which is like the, everyone else. So what we did was, instead of directly reaching out to the tier 1 people, who we know will probably say no first up and they'll be like, who are you? We reached out to the tier 2 people who are more likely to say yes, right? And so we curried favor with them a bit and we said, hey, you want to come? We really like if you could come. Honestly, we just want these people, but we got these people in first. And then we went back to these people and said, hey, we picked out the best names from the tier 2 group, like the ones who are closest to becoming tier 1. And we said, hey, we got these people on. Do you also want to join? And then that makes it more likely for tier 1 to say yes, right? And if a lot of tier 2 people are saying no to you, then you can go down to tier 3, pick up a few there, then go back up to tier 2, email those people, pick up a few of those people, and then go back up to tier 1 and get your big mega influencers. Because just like the Power of Success Summit, you just need one Tony Robbins and that's it, right? You get like a huge mega event. And no one else knows who these other people are. But as long as you can get one big name, your summit's going to be successful. So what we did was, before reaching out to these speakers, so we created a full list, names, emails, websites. And before we actually contacted them, we create a little one-pager, which is basically a little brief of what the summit's about, who is it for, who's the audience, what are the important dates for the summit, and all of this stuff we've spoken about just now, and what do the speakers get in return? Like, why should they come and speak at a summit? And so the biggest thing is the speakers get to speak in front of a whole bunch of people, and they get a whole set of new eyeballs on their stuff. So each speaker, if there's 30 different speakers, one speaker is going to get 29 other speakers, followers, looking at that person, right? So as a speaker, you get a ton of branding, you get a ton of reach, and then you can also get commissions. So you can offer commissions. If you're selling a product at the end, you offer speakers commissions as well, all right? So that's kind of like what the one-pager looked like that we sent out, and it was just basically, it's very nicely formatted. You don't have to create something that's super professional like this. We had like a designer go through the stuff. If you want, you can just hire a designer of Upwork, for our what is it called, Fiverr. Get someone to like format it into a nice little PDF document and send it out. But really, it just has what is the summit, who's it for, and when the dates are. And then the next page was basically what does the speaker get, right? And what are the next steps? So we reach out to all the influencers and our speakers with this little email. And it's just a really short template that you can use yourself. And it basically goes, hey name, or hey John, or Tony, or whatever. We've got a big online summit for women entrepreneurs coming up. And I think you'd be great to have as an expert to speak at the summit. We aim to empower 10,000 women to start an online course business. I'm attaching the brief for more information. Let me know if you're interested. Right? So basically, really quick and simple. Here's what we got. We use a big number over there to be like, for them to go, wow, okay, this sounds good. And then we attach the brief, which has more information, right? Hopefully that will get them interested, right? And again, like I said, we start off with tier 2 or tier 3 influencers, get a few interested, get them to say yes. And then we create a little speaker form that makes it easy for us to sort of book them in and confirm them as speakers. Okay, so we got, it's basically an easy way to book them in. It has a name, a form for them to fill out the name, bio, topic, headshot, best time for them to speak. So we say, all right, it's going to be during these days. These are the times that we have open for you to come and speak. Which one would you like, or which ones would you like to speak at? Then a commitment from them to email everyone. So you are going to depend on your speakers to promote your conference and your summit, right? That's where most of the traffic comes from. That's where most of the leads come from. That's why it's such a good strategy, because you're not spending your own time and effort promoting the conference. You're getting them to do it for you, right? So these people have email lists of a few thousand, tens of thousands, 100,000 people. One email from them is going to drive a lot of traffic to your summit and people who register. So you need that commitment from them to actually go and email everyone and make sure that they do that, right? So you have this form and where they agree to emailing out. And then rinse and repeat, right? So get a few tier 2 people on board, get a yes, get them to sign the speaker form, and then go to the tier 1 and say, hey, same outreach email, but also add a line saying, we've already got so and so speaking at the event. Would you also like to be a speaker? We'd love it if you could, right? Book the speakers in, finalize the topic, and use that speaker registration form to make things easy and quick so that you can book speakers in, right? You are basically doing a series of webinars with your live summit. You're interviewing people online, or they're presenting online. So you need some sort of live video recording software. Now, if you're doing pre-recorded webinars, you could just do a Skype call and record that. But if you're doing it live, you need like some sort of webinar live video software. And usually what we used was Zoom, because Zoom allowed us to have the same link for each and every talk. So all we did was in the link, we edited the webinar topic to the next speaker, and then we sent out the same link back to attendees to come click on the link again an hour later, all right? But there are so many other options out there. Tons of webinar platforms like Demio, GoToWebinar. If you have one already, just use what you have. It's easy, right? You also need a hosting software. So once you've recorded all these videos, whether it's pre-recorded or live, you want to put it up somewhere so that attendees who missed the live recording can go back and watch it later, right? And what a lot of people do with monetizing the events, and I'll talk about that in a sec, is they also sell the recordings after the summit is over, right? So that's a way to make some additional cash from this summit. So hosting software, what we used, of course, was our own software, think of it, because we could do the affiliates landing page, sales page, checkout, recordings, all of that in one. But there are other softwares that you're familiar with, ClickFunnels, Samcart. They may have some of these pieces. I'm not very familiar with that stuff. Monetization. So here's like how you can monetize your summit. So it's not just about building an email list, or it may be but you could also do a lot of things like at the end of the summit, you could say, hey, we've got this big bundle of resources. Your education doesn't end here. You can buy all this cool stuff. So you could, what we did was you could buy our software, some training courses from us and from some of the other speakers, and recordings. So recordings of all the webinar, all the summit videos that we had, right? Or you could just sell the summit recording. So if you don't have your own software or product or services, if you have nothing at all, in fact, right now, you could still do the summit, and then you could just sell everyone the recordings so that they have unlimited access going forward, right? Or you don't have to sell anything. You could do a delayed thing. So you do the summit, you get a lot of email addresses and people who are interested in you, your brand, your products and services, and then a week later, a couple of weeks later, you follow up with everyone and say, hey, hope you had a great time. Listen, I've got this course coming out, would you like to buy it? Or I'm going to coach you on how to do this. If you're stuck there, are you interested in my coaching services? And for that, of course, for monetization, you need a cart. So some place where people can pay online at the end of the summit and buy whatever it is you're selling. And of course, we use Thinkific, but you can use anything else which has a cart functionality. All right?